What's up, Tsla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. Anyways, as far as the market's going, as you can see, Tesla and many of these tickers are trying to push higher. But we have to see if these levels could hold as time goes on to see if this move is going to be sustainable or not. When it comes to news, a driver in New York has said that Tesla's made false claims that its cars were self-driving after his EV ended up seeing a collision with the tree. This lawsuit is once again claiming that Tesla's statements are misleading and deceptive. So we'll see what this leads to as time goes on. So we're seeing a new lawsuit, but just keep in mind it's not really affecting the share price, at least so far. On top of this, what is good news is the fact that Tesla is planning on producing cheaper models by June for its Model 3 and Model Y with new molding techniques. This could be very useful as well, especially when we have more expenditures coming up. Now, Tesla is also pushing because of momentum that's continuing from Friday with some deregulation in the robotaxi sector. When it comes to rolling out FSD in the robotaxi, that is still some good news, and that's part of why Tesla's continuing to hold up. The market's also holding up, so that's some good news. Now, there's been some news coming out. President Trump has mentioned he wants to cut taxes, and his way of doing that would be through trying to fund the government war with tariffs. So keep that in mind. That's what we're seeing, at least so far, at least on the news. And IBM has pledged to invest about $150 billion for tech growth and computer manufacturing. So there's been a lot of talk about that. Now, keep in mind that today is Monday, April 28th, 2025. At 10:30 a.m., we have the Dallas Fed manufacturing report, and at 11:30 a.m., we have the 3 and 6 month bill auctions, which may cause some volatility. There's also going to be a lot of big earnings later on for the week. We just had Domino's Pizza and a couple of other small ones, but from Tuesday to Thursday, things get very serious with SoFi and PayPal, not to mention Microsoft and Meta, and then Amazon and Apple on all these different days. Some more news that's coming up. We're just seeing some more attempts from the market to push. Lots of tech earnings will be coming out, and then we'll see what happens between the U.S. and China. President Trump has mentioned that right now there's negotiations going on with the deal, but we'll see if anything else changes. And that's pretty much it, at least for now. So I'll keep you guys updated if we get more claims from President Trump or anything like that. So, what's Tesla doing? As you can tell, it's inching higher, but we want to be careful because 292 is going to be a tough resistance. We got 1, 2, 3 rejections from there in the past. If Tesla turns back down, we end up losing 285. We could turn back down to 275 or below. But for now, we're going to be looking for a test of 292. If we break that, we could get closer to 300. But like I said before, I would be careful between 292 and 300. It's going to be a tough resistance zone. And we'll just see if Tesla can maintain this or not. So look for a small push to 292. If not a little bit higher, we could try to push closer to 300 if that breaks. But then we'll see if Tesla rejects off that, if we end up losing 285 or not. So keep that in mind. As far as SPY is going, we're bullish for the time being. If we end up losing around this like 546 area, we could be dumping back down, as there's also a big gap to fill all the way down to like below 530. And as long as we're above 550, we're favoring 555 as our target. So I think that right now we're going to try to push closer to 555. If not, if that breaks, we could get closer to the 560s. But keep in mind, there's a rising wedge right here. These are typically bearish setups. So yes, we're bullish for now. We're going to try to push for the time being closer to 555, but we'll see if we get a rejection off this wedge. So keep that in mind. So look for a push for now. SPY is going to try to push once again closer to 555, and we'll see if we could hold above that or not. If not, if we end up losing support off this wedge at 546, we're looking for a dump. The QQQ has the same setup, rising wedge. We are trying to test this resistance around 473. We'll see if we can break this or not. If we break this, we're looking for an attempt for like 475 and 478. Might push a little bit, but we'll see if we could hold these levels. And if we end up losing 470, if we can't hold up, we're going to be at risk of 466 again. So look for an attempt to push for 475 to 478. If we can't sustain it, we're looking for this rising wedge to potentially pan out, taking us back down to the 460s and eventually below. On the IWM, we're looking decent. We're looking for 195 to be tested. If that breaks, I'm looking for 198, and we'll see if it rejects or not. ES is trying to push. We could get closer to 55.80, and we'll see if you reject off this or not. So be very careful. We might try to push a little higher, but then if we can't fill this gap, or if we do fill the gap at 55.80 to 5600, it's going to be kind of tough here. If we lose 54.80, we're going to be looking for a dump back down. I do think we're going to try to push a little bit, but then we'll see if we get a rejection or not. Keep in mind there's still that rising wedge. Same thing with NQ. We're going to be looking for an attempt to get to 19,750. If not 20,000, we'll see if you reject. For others out there, we have Nvda. It's going to try to fill this gap to about 111, and we need to get back above 113 to remain bullish. If we can't hold above 113, we could push to like the 110 to 113 range, but if we reject, we're looking for 105 to 106 as our main support. Aapl might attempt for 213. We'll see if it rejects or not. Might push just a little bit by a couple of points, but we need to get back above 213 to remain bullish. If we can't hold that, we're going to likely be returning to 202. Coinbase could be trying to fill this gap. It already filled the gap near 212, so we need to continue to hold above 212. If we can't, it might pivot back down to 200. Amazon, we're looking for the low 190s, 190 to 192. This is going to be a very tough resistance. We got lots of rejections historically. If we hit this, we could reject if that fails, so keep that in mind. Meta might be getting closer to 576, or 516. Then we'll see if we can go a little higher to 576 or not. Otherwise, it may reject. Microsoft is at resistance. We're looking at 395 to 400 as our resistance zone. If we lose 387, we're going to be dumping back down to 378. I think 395 to 400 is going to be a tough resistance. Google needs to get back above 165. If we can't hold that, we might be returning to 160, so be very careful. The VIX, although it's dipping a little bit, it might dip a little bit more, but we're going to be looking to see if we get a big breakout since this does have a falling wedge, so be careful. Could the market push more? Could Tesla push more? Yes, it can, just a little bit more, but be careful and we'll see if these levels could hold. If not, we're looking for a big rejection. All right. Thank you for listening and peace out.